Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mike Mangenji, and I'm going to be discussing something I've always been asked on a day to day basis: how to land that job in IT security. Today, again, I'm with my friend over here, my co host. His name is Munya. Again, we can have him introduce himself for some of you who've not seen some of our episodes.
What's going on, y'all? My name is Munya, and as always, I'm here to support Mr. Mike here as he goes into training session, video, podcast, everything that we're trying to do here. As far as IT is concerned, I'm just here supporting the brother, as I always say on each episode. So I'm ready.
Yeah, so this topic is going to be a little bit light. We're not really going into technology that much. We are just going into how to land that IT job, that information security job. That's one thing I'm always being asked. How do I get the job? Because it's really enticing if you look at the numbers out there. A lot of these professionals are making six figures. So, hey, why can't you not make six figures or more if you can? So, I'm going to just start with the basics on how to get into IT and basically how to land that job. So, first of all, you got to have a mix of technical skills, certifications, and strategic networking. Basically, at some point, you got to know someone who knows someone or someone who's in the industry to get you in. So, the first thing you need to do is really build a strong foundation. You need to get a basic understanding of networking, operating systems, and cybersecurity principles. So, some of these cybersecurity principles are things that we have discussed in the past or things that we'll continue to discuss in the future. But in the meantime, we're just going to talk about how to actually get that job. If you're a technical person and you know you've got the capacity, make sure you learn some of the programming languages like Python, PowerShell, or Bash, and security scripting. That'll get you far in the game. And these days, familiarize yourself with cloud security and artificial intelligence. This is basically where the world is going into now. So, Mr. Munya, I'm trying to see if you have any questions before we go any further on what we've discussed so far.
All right. So far, I don't have any questions besides I'm eager to know, to get into the meat and potatoes of the pie and what else you said was
There's PowerShell,
PowerShell and all of
cloud
that.
security, there's
Cloud
Azure, there's
security.
there's quite a lot of things. We gonna be discussing some of them today. As I mentioned, we're not really gonna go tech heavy with this.
Mhm.
We pretty much want you to get that job that you've been seeing on advertisements on TVs and so forth. So the
All right.
first thing is go ahead.
Yeah, before you go, this is really helpful because I've heard these terms being thrown around, Pi, Azure, and you know, whatever you just mentioned right there. I forget already. So it's kind of scary when people start mentioning long words. So I'm curious, again, like I always say, to know what it means and how we translate to somebody normal like me. I'm normal,
Basically,
but you know what I
yeah,
mean. Somebody
but
who's not tech heavy.
in layman terms, when I say Python, it's simply a programming language. Azure is more of a platform that Microsoft uses for cloud. And for now, don't really even worry about most of these terms because we will be getting into that in other episodes. And we just want to make sure that you get a little bit of the frameworks on how to sound knowledgeable if you ever get yourself in front of an interview. So um, the first thing you want to get relevant certifications. I think the first one I would recommend is CompTIA A plus. This is just a basic uh, computer hardware and software course. It'll teach you the fundamentals. What's a computer? What's a motherboard? What's an operating system and so forth. Then eventually, as you go down the line, you can learn things like Security Plus. This is offered by CompTIA. Again, we're not really supporting any particular provider, but I'm letting you know the relevant certifications that can be useful in this environment. There's what's called CCNA. That's more for the networking people. As you go further, there's something called Certified Ethical Hacker, but which is CEH. But we're not really gonna go deep into those, so don't really worry if you don't understand what it is. If you get a chance to research, you can just jump on Google and try to research some of these key terms. So go ahead.
Okay, so what I want to ask is for somebody like me listening,
Hmm.
it's a lot of acronyms, CCI, this, that, and third,
Right.
and a lot of courses you just mentioned. So I would want it to be placed in order, as in the first course you're going to need to take is this one, and this takes about 6 months to complete, and then the next one is 2 weeks, and then and then the next one is 7 months or whatever it is.
Okay.
And then when after you do certain courses, it's going to qualify you for a job that is this much. And then when you do a year into, if you have this qualification, then all the way leading up to 6 figures for it to make sense.
That makes complete sense, Mr. Munya. So the first one I mentioned is A plus. You get a basic understanding of hardware, software, operating systems that can elevate you from an entry level job, which is like a help desk type job, to something like field support, which in most company terms they call level two. So you actually get to work hands on the computers, on the servers, on the networks.
Right.
In terms of the money you can potentially make, um, we're looking at around maybe 60, 70,000. But I was maybe trying to stay away from the money because unfortunately, with a lot of these things, the best way is to start from the bottom going up. So the best platform, or in my case, I actually started from doing help desk work. In most cases, you already have scripts written out for you, so you get to learn troubleshooting skills. So you could simply get a call from a customer saying, my computer is not turning on. Now you have to take a few steps to try to figure out what's happening. First thing you ask them, is it turned on? Do you see any lights on? Is it plugged in and so forth? That is really teaching you the fundamentals of troubleshooting. It could be a network issue where you say, I'm not getting internet. In most cases, you got to notice it will be a situation where maybe the router is unplugged, where you simply need to plug it back in. Or in some cases, you simply need to restart it. So go ahead.
Hmm. No, no,
All right. So eventually, once you learn some of these basics, the best thing really is to try to get some hands-on experience with software, hardware, and so forth. So I would recommend maybe even purchasing a small computer, a small laptop for say between $100 and $200, where you can really get to play around with it. You're not afraid to break it per se, because it's not that important. Sometimes the best way to learn how to fix or navigate these computers is maybe try to simply break it. I remember when I first learned computers, was truly afraid of pushing some of these F buttons at the top. I'm not sure if some of you know what they all do. On every computer, you see F1, F2, F3.
I'm
And
gonna be the one. I'm gonna be the first one to admit I don't know what all of them do. I know what some of them do. Some of the
exactly.
buttons on the computer, I'm like, I know what that do because I've
Yes,
never had a need to use them.
right. And we will go into that once we start doing like some basic hardware courses. But go around, play with your computer, get some hands-on experience, and it's not going to break your computer. So read a lot. There's a lot of information out there, and YouTube, the platform where you actually watching this from, has a lot of information, has a lot of tutorials, has a lot of videos. Nowadays, you can probably learn how to fly a plane on YouTube. So do your own research, and make sure you're reading as much as possible. So next step, so we gotta go specifically, or we gotta focus more on the landing your job portion of it. So try to optimize your resume and LinkedIn profile. What's happening these days is before your resume actually goes to a recruiter, in most cases it goes into an AI system, an artificial intelligence system, where it's looking for certain keywords that match up with the job description. So you should not really have just one resume on file. Try to keep at least maybe even 10, depending on the job you're looking for, and alter or really optimize the resume that you present to your potential employer based on the job description. Because now they're looking for keywords. There's a lot of applicants with each job posting. If you look maybe on LinkedIn, sometimes there's 1,000 applicants. What sets you apart from these 1,000 is the keywords. They're using these AI systems to try to weed out maybe candidates that don't qualify. So go ahead.
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah.
So I've seen people generate resumes using platforms like ChatGTP and stuff like that. Does it flag up when when you use that to generate resumes? When it goes to the recruiter, what happens with that?
So with Chat GPT, I would say use it as a tool to guide you. Don't simply copy and paste whatever's coming out from Chat GPT. So use it as a tool where you can maybe get some ideas on what to write on your actual resume. So it definitely can be flagged. Nowadays there's what they call AI detectors. So I wouldn't recommend taking it straight from Chat GPT to your resume. Use it to
Right,
yeah.
right.
And whenever you put your achievements, try to put actual numbers. You simply can't say I helped the company develop and so on, so forth. You actually have to put
Percentages?
percentages or dollar figures. I worked on this project. By the end of the project, the company had saved $5 million. We worked on not actually. Don't even try to say we. By working on this project, I managed to reduce waste by 30%. Those are real good ways you can land that job. And the third thing is try to network with cybersecurity professionals. There's a lot of events out there. So you may not even be in cybersecurity or in IT. You work at a company, maybe you're doing regular help desk or some other job. Try to find some person within your company or maybe outside your organization that can mentor you or that can teach you on how to get forward with IT. In most cases, a lot of people who've made it, there's someone who's actually mentored them along the way. Uh, it's better than trying to learn all these things by yourself. So, any comments or questions about that?
No, I actually agree. I
Yep.
actually agree. I think in anything that you do, you need a mentor, somebody who has walked the shoes you're trying to walk through or fill in.
And always try to keep updated with cybersecurity news, blogs, forums, videos like this. Um, this will the thing with information technology and information security, things are always changing. So what I learned in school when I was doing college, it probably is not relevant anymore in the field. So you got to keep on learning and keep on reading. Uh, that can be a problem. Don't be complacent. Say once you get the job and you think that's it, the relevance of your job is probably not going to be there in the next 2 years. So things are always evolving. The technology is changing, and I think that's really one of my biggest recommendations. We got to try to keep it short to get your attention. And if you have any questions, any comments, please put them in the comments field. Make sure you like, subscribe,
And share the
and
video.
share the videos. Thank you for your time, and thank you, Muya, for the company.
I appreciate it. I didn't say much in this episode because I was learning too, but we'll catch you on the next one.
Oh, great. Thank you.
All right, peace.